Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over the question, do birth mothers want to be found? As I was doing the research for this topic, I came across a paper written by Ginny Snodgrass in 1998. During her research, she found that 96% wanted a reunion with their children that they had given up for adoption. In the year 2000, the state of Oregon opened up birth certificates and allowed adoptees full access to their original birth certificates. During that time, birth mothers were allowed to come forward and request no contact and that they did not want reunion. Out of 10,000 birth certificates, so out of 10,000 birth mothers, only 85 came forward and asked for no contact. That's less than 1%. So in answer to the question, do birth mothers want reunion? Overwhelming yes would be my answer to that question. Now, there are some times when a birth mother may not want to go into reunion. So let's look at some of the reasons why that may happen. Denial and complete disassociation is one of the reasons why a birth mother may not want to go into reunion. She just simply denies that she ever gave birth to a child and has another one out there. Some birth mothers assume that they will never be found, so when they are found, they're in complete shock and they don't want to enter into reunion at that time. Another reason would be that there is too much shame and regret. They just can't imagine going through a reunion. Their grief is overwhelming and they cannot bear to go through the steps and the motions of a reunion. Along with this, sometimes they've closed off their feelings so much and they're deathly afraid of opening that wound again and having to deal with that scar left behind so many years ago. Other times, secrecy has played a big role. Perhaps their spouse doesn't know. And if their spouse doesn't know, then their children don't know either. And possibly their whole family doesn't know. I've heard about that happening in today's day and age, where people just don't tell anybody. I know my own adoption wasn't broadcast. My parents kept it a secret. I did not, but my parents kept it a secret from everyone until I was in reunion and I started telling everybody in the family. And sometimes trauma shame is also a reason why some birth mothers don't want to enter reunion. Perhaps they were raped or molested and the child that was given up was a product of that rape or molestation and they cannot face the child for one reason or another. And perhaps there's addiction as well. Some birth mothers have a problem with addiction to drugs and maybe they are currently still addicted and the drugs are too overpowering and they can't look past anything but that next fix. Not knowing who the father is another aspect of shame that may prevent a birth mother from wanting to enter into reunion. And sometimes simply timing is just not good. And what I mean by this is that perhaps the birth mother is at that time caring for an elderly patient who needs round-the-clock care. I know from my father just being bedridden and passing away a couple months ago that it is a lot of work and it is very overwhelming. I wouldn't deny my daughter a reunion because of that, but it is something to take into consideration as well. Life chaos is another reason why some birth mothers choose not to enter reunion. What I mean by this is that they aren't who they wanted to be in life. They are embarrassed of their situation or of who they are or who they aren't. Along with that is a fear of being judged. They don't want to have the child judge them for not being wealthy enough or funny enough or professionally advanced enough. And I actually did a video about this not too long ago, and I'll link that right up here. Sometimes some birth mothers are also suspicious. They're suspicious that the adopted child has gotten wind that they're wealthy or famous or something along that lines, and they're afraid that they are going to come and try to take some of their wealth or belongings or something of that line. Alternately, sometimes they are scared to be arrested. It was not uncommon back during the baby scoop era, all the way up to the 90s, and sometimes perhaps even today, some agencies still say it, that we will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law if we go and find our children. And under no circumstance are we to have contact with them ever again. So some birth mothers may have that fear instilled in them that they will get into a whole heap of trouble if they reunite with their child. And lastly, some birth mothers just don't have a maternal instinct, and they don't want to have kids, and they don't want to have any access to any children. It's just not a desire that they ever had. But please remember, all these reasons of why a birth mom may not want to enter into reunion account for such a small percentage of the birth moms that actually do. It's less than 1%. An overwhelming majority of us yearn for the day that we can see our children again and live in hope that that day will come. That's all for this video. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.